Our bodies are growing and changing shape all the time. Sometimes our body reacts to things in ways that surprise us. It has many different purposes and functions. Have you ever wondered what a cavity is? Or why we need to burn calories? Why we smile? And how we build muscles? Stick around and find out the answers to all these burning questions and many more on Why, What, Where. Why is laughter good for you? Laughing is a lot of fun. Everyone loves laughing with their families and friends or at school. It doesn't cost anything and it's very contagious. When you see somebody laughing, you can't help but start laughing yourself. Did you know that laughter is a very good type of medicine? It's great for our health and general well-being. Do you know why? Firstly, laughter lowers blood pressure, stimulates the immune system and triggers endorphins, which are our body's natural painkillers. It reduces stress and helps relieve pain by relaxing our muscles. It's also great for our breathing.
When you laugh, you're using all the diaphragm muscles, your stomach muscles. That enables the lungs to fill with fresh air. You know, you take a big breath in, so you're getting lots of oxygen, which is very good for all the organs. It increases the circulation and it tones all the muscles.
More and more doctors are encouraging laughter therapy for patients who are feeling stressed or run down. This is a laughter club, and these people get together in a group and practice laughing out loud. Doctors believe that laughter should come naturally to everyone, just like smiling. So these people are practicing with each other. Laughter uplifts our body, mind and soul and sparks creative thoughts, so it can be great for our relationships with each other. What other ways do you think laughter helps us? Well, it is a universal language, so that means we all speak it or laugh it. When somebody laughs, it can ease tension in a group situation and can also help loneliness by bringing people together so they don't feel so isolated.
Well, I thought it was quite good, but the problem with it was quite noisy, and one part I just I didn't join in at first, but when I saw it, but it's quite good actually. I think it was quite good.
I feel a lot more awake and more energised, and I feel like going off and having a bit of a laugh actually.
Did you know that a child laughs approximately 400 times a day, while an adult laughs only about 15 times a day? What is stress? Have you ever felt sick in the stomach the day before a test, or when you're starting a new school or semester? Sometimes you can't sleep because you're worried or you get a headache. If you've experienced this, then you know what stress feels like. Adults often say they're stressed out or that they have a lot going on. Kids can get stressed out too. Stress is what you feel when you're worried or uncomfortable about something. This worry in your mind can make your body feel bad. You may feel angry, frustrated, scared or afraid, which can give you a sore stomach or a headache. When you're stressed, you may not feel like sleeping or eating. You also may feel cranky or have trouble paying attention at school and remembering things at home. Loads of things can cause stress, such as being too busy. It can also affect you if your parents are fighting or if you're having problems at school. Not all stress is bad though. Sometimes we get a feeling in our stomach like there are lots of butterflies flying around, or we may get sweaty hands before we have to present something in class or read aloud. These responses can be a really good way to help us focus and get things done. Stress becomes bad when it stays with you over time, and it can make you sick. Stress can be solved by getting a good night's sleep, eating well, maintaining regular exercise, and simple relaxation exercises, such as breathing in and out slowly for a few minutes until you start feeling calmer. Make sure you leave time for having fun, and you'll probably be less stressed out. Can you cure a cold? You wake up feeling grumpy and tired, your head hurts, and you're finding it difficult to breathe out of your nose. Uh-oh, what do you think is wrong? Well, you probably have a cold. Children get up to 8 colds per year, with each cold lasting an average of 5 to 7 days. They're the number one reason kids visit doctors. A cold is an infection of the upper respiratory system. This means it just affects the nose, throat, and ears. Can colds be cured? There are over 200 different viruses that cause colds, which makes it impossible to find one shot or vaccination to prevent you from getting all of them. So, as yet, there's no real cure. Our bodies have something called an immune system, which protects us against infection. If we lead a healthy life, eat well and exercise regularly, it helps keep our immune system working at its full capacity, so we're less likely to catch a cold. What about the flu? The flu is more serious than a cold because it lasts longer, about 1 to 2 weeks, and can cause a fever, your body can ache, and you feel really sick and tired. Sometimes the flu can be really serious and you need to go to hospital. That's why a flu shot is important. Kids between the ages of 6 months and 18 years should get the flu injection, and it's especially important for children who have heart or lung disorders, including asthma. Even if you don't have these types of problems, you can still get a flu shot from the doctor. It helps protect you from getting sick and potentially missing school. Who invented penicillin? Penicillin is one of the earliest discovered and most widely used antibiotics, and it comes from the Penicillium mold fungus. Antibiotics are actually natural substances that are released by bacteria and fungi into the environment. They are released to protect us from other organisms, potentially bad ones that can make you sick. Penicillin was not actually invented by anybody because it already existed. But Sir Alexander Fleming discovered its effects in 1928. It led to the making of medicines that help destroy certain types of disease-causing bacteria inside the body. The body is pretty amazing though, as 4 years after drug companies started producing penicillin, microbes, which are tiny organisms inside our body that help develop bacteria, began to grow and start to resist the penicillin. All this led scientists to look for other antibiotics to stop disease-causing bacteria from growing. We have lots of different medicines and antibiotics these days, so if you have an infection caused by bacteria, don't worry, because antibiotics can make you feel better. Coming up, we find out why we smile, how many muscles we have in our body, and why people give blood. Why do we smile? Just like laughing, smiling is one of the ways we express ourselves as humans. Sometimes we smile without even thinking about it. At other times, we do it because it makes us feel good about others and ourselves. Smiling can make us feel joyful and happy. We smile for 4 reasons. Because something is funny. Because something is silly. Because something is ridiculous. And when something is exciting. Our face makes other expressions too. This robot shows the different types of expressions we can make, from snarling when we don't like something to smiling and showing a look of surprise. Its skinless face with blood vessels and tendons helps show the audience how our faces move. This robot's name is Nexi, and it responds to people with facial gestures and speech.
Hello, my name is Nixie, and I'm an MDS robot. MDS stands for Mobile, Dexterous, Social. Mobile because I can move around. Dexterous because I can use my hands to touch things, or even pick them up. And social because I can communicate in many of the ways that people do. I can tell you that I'm sad, mad, confused, excited, or even bored.
The robot's lifelike expressions are created by copying human muscles and tendons, and the robot's lack of skin shows this off.
it has this socially expressive face. It has 21 different parts of its face that can actually move around, so the robot can actually convey information to people about how it feels and what's going on inside in the same way that people do, without a computer screen, without text, without any outside information.
When you speak, the robot's face follows your face, and its expressions hint at humans' feelings. We cannot see or touch our emotions, so how do we express them? We express them through body language, by sobbing loudly, laughing or shouting in anger, or physically, by crying, smiling or banging a table. Did you know that facial expressions help us work out how someone feels? Try pulling happy, sad and angry faces and practice moving your face muscles. How do we get muscles? We have more than 600 muscles throughout our bodies. Not all of them can be flexed like a bicep. We have lots of involuntary muscles too that move the food we eat to our stomachs and keep our heart beating. Big muscles like these men have taken years to develop. If you want muscles like these, you'll have to wait until you grow up, as our bodies don't build this type of muscle until then. Boys and girls can still do lots to build strong and healthy muscles, such as playing, running, riding bikes and jumping. Even activities like dancing and kicking a football help. Foods like meat and eggs, which contain protein, are great for building muscle too. It's not a good idea for children to lift weights because it can be dangerous for the muscles and tendons. Instead, you should try doing push-ups, sit-ups or chin-ups, and remember that simply by playing you can build stronger muscles. How many types of muscles do we have in our body? 3. Smooth, muscles that work all over your body. Cardiac, muscles that make up the heart. And skeletal, muscles that give your body power and strength. Why do we sweat and smell? Our bodies can sometimes surprise us by releasing different substances or smells. For example, have you ever ridden your bike really fast and felt your back getting wet? Well, this is sweat. It happens when you get hot, and it leaves your skin through tiny holes called pores. Once the sweat hits the air, it evaporates. Sometimes, though, it can smell. This is because it mixes with bacteria that live on your skin. By washing regularly with soap and water, it helps kill the bacteria. Teenagers and adults also wear deodorant to control it. This exhibition in New Jersey, America, shows why we blow snot or mucus from our noses and why we burp and vomit. It's called grossology, and kids can interact by climbing up a pimply wall, listen to a faucet dripping green stuff while talking about boogers, and travel through a maze of intestines. It's designed for under 12-year-olds who enter the exhibit through a giant nose, allowing you to feel mucus and learn that humans swallow a quart of mucus every day. You can also slide down the esophagus tunnel, through the intestine, and slip out of the colon in the popular slide and climbing frame, made to look like the inside of a stomach. Did you know that we shed almost 2 million skin cells every hour? And did you know that rhinotilexomania is the study of nose picking? Some of the grossest things on display are in the section on smells. You can smell 4 different horrible pongs and then guess whether it comes from the armpit, mouth, bottom or foot. Yuck!
A lot of kids feel anxious about their bodies. Am I normal? Am I like other people? And at this exhibit they can see everything applies to everybody, and it also opens the door for them to ask questions of their parents and teachers later.
Kids can also fire pollen balls into nostrils to demonstrate the effect of pollen on the nasal system. Why do our feet sometimes smell? Because of bacteria. They like dark, damp places like the inside of your shoes. Wearing socks can help stop the smell. Why do people give blood? Our bodies make blood, and it travels throughout our system from our head to our toes. Everybody's blood is red, but it's not all the same. Do you know what your blood type is? There are 8 blood types, and they're described using the letters A, B, and O. Most of the time, it doesn't matter what blood type you are, but it becomes important when a person needs a blood transfusion or wants to donate blood.
I had a lot of transfusions, and I'm an unusual blood group, A rhesus negative, so I can receive O. And thank God so many people do give blood, but we really need more, and that's what World Blood Donor Day is about.
Kids can't give blood, but when you get older, you can. It really helps people who need a blood transfusion when they're sick or if they're losing lots of blood. Without enough healthy blood, the body won't get the oxygen or energy it needs to function. Having healthy blood also means protecting the body against germs and other diseases. How does the body make blood? By mixing red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets and plasma together. Coming up, we find out why you should burn calories, what a cavity is, and what is a melanoma. What is a cavity? How many times have you been to the dentist? Have you ever had any problems with your teeth, such as a cavity? A cavity is a hole that can grow bigger over time. That's why it's important to get it fixed by a dentist. Plaque is what causes cavities, and this is a sticky, slimy substance that's made up mostly of germs, and it causes tooth decay. The bacteria that live in our mouths make acids, so when plaque clings to your teeth, acids eat away at your tooth. If you avoid going to the dentist, then the acids really start to eat at your tooth. This can cause toothaches. Fixing a cavity is easy. Dentists check out your teeth and then take x-rays. If they find a cavity, they can remove it with a special drill. Then fill the hole with material called a filling. Getting a filling can hurt, but the dentist gives you an anaesthetic, which numbs the area that they're working on. This way, you don't feel a thing. How can I avoid a cavity? Brush your teeth at least twice a day. Gently brush your gums to keep them healthy. Avoid too many sweets and sugary drinks. Why should you burn calories? You might have heard people talk about calories in food and that it's important to count your daily intake. A calorie is a unit of measurement, but rather than measuring weight or length, it measures energy. When someone says that a can of drink contains 100 calories, that actually describes how much energy your body will get from eating or drinking it. So are calories bad for you? No, they're not. Your body needs calories for energy, but if you eat or drink too many calories without burning them off through physical exercise, your body puts on weight. Do all foods have calories? Almost. Lettuce contains very few calories, but peanuts, on the other hand, contain loads. When you buy food, you can look at the nutrition facts label and see how many calories are in it, along with the amount of fat, carbohydrates and protein. You don't have to burn off all the calories that your body eats or drinks because you burn off some calories without even moving. Simple exercise like walking your dog or cleaning up around the house also burns calories. It's important though to be active for at least 1 hour or more every day. So playing after-school sports, riding your bike or running around is very good for you to keep a healthy weight and start to build muscle. Did you know that a person burns only about 1 calorie per minute while watching TV and sleeping? Why is smoking so bad for you? Even though smoking is one of the worst things anyone can do to their body and their health, Every day, thousands of kids between the ages of 12 and 17 start up. If it's so bad for you, why do people start smoking? Sometimes it's because of curiosity. People want to know what it tastes like. Other times it's because of peer pressure, when your friend is doing it and pressures you into smoking, or you feel that you would fit in more if you started up. At other times it's to appear more grown up. The problem is that smoking becomes a habit, and generally once you start, it's very difficult to stop. Short-term effects of smoking include yellow teeth, smelly clothes, feeling less fit and active, which makes it harder to keep up with friends on the playing field. You get sick more easily with colds and coughs, your breath smells, and you run out of money fast. Cigarettes are expensive. Doesn't sound very appealing, does it? Smoking is addictive because it contains a chemical called nicotine, which gives you a pleasant feeling for a little while, but also makes you want to use it again and again. It is hard to give up, and you can experience all sorts of effects as your body weans off it. Smoking doesn't actually taste nice. Often you'll cough or feel a burning sensation in your throat. This is your lungs and body saying, "Stop, don't poison me." If your friends start smoking, try and remind them of some of the reasons why it's so bad for them. Can you remember? Smoking gives you bad breath and makes you stink. It turns your teeth yellow. It gives you less energy to play sports with your friends. It makes you cough, and it is expensive. What is a melanoma? It's great fun spending time outdoors, but if you're out in the sun, you need to stay safe, as too much sun can be harmful to your skin. When your skin is exposed to too many of the sun's rays, you get what's called sunburn, and it hurts. Some people who have lighter skin than others can get sunburnt faster than other people. Sunburn is bad for you and can give you blisters on your skin. It can peel after the burn has worn off and make you wrinkly when you get older. Sunburn can also lead to developing a melanoma. A melanoma is a type of cancer that begins in the skin cells that produce melanin, the pigment that gives skin its colour. But don't worry, you don't need to hide completely from the sun or wear a really large hat so you can't see a thing. Just by making sure you always wear sunscreen, wear a cap and stay in the shade to take a break from the sun, you can protect your skin. The sun's rays are the strongest between 10 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Avoiding things that are bad for us and looking after our body and our health is important so we can live a happy, stress-free and fun life.